Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we've got a completely horrific mess here. So I've got at least one of the YZ125s torn down into a million pieces. Anyway, so the next step here on this one is to get this all swept up and cleaned and the parts organized and different ones in the parts washer. This one here is a bit of a problem. I've got a bit of an issue with getting the swing arm bolt out. It's absolutely seized in. I've exhausted all the hammering techniques I can dish out onto it. So what I believe I'm going to do next is I'll actually just strip the wheel and the front end off the forks and everything, and I'm going to put this whole chassis and swing arm into my press. I've got a 100-ton press. I will support around the head of the bolt here, and I will press from that side and push the bolt through. Another problem area is this little pin that connects the swing arm and shock. That is absolutely Caesar salad. Like, it will not move at all. So it will also be getting the press treatment. That's a problem with some of these old units. They get left sitting in the bush or the boneyard for a long time and they just seize right up. The other one came apart quite easily, and that's just a testament, I guess, to the age-old debate of oiling your bolts or greasing your bolts versus not doing it. I would tell you that this particular one here did in fact have the grease on the bolts, and it came apart easy, and this one is dry as a bone and it will not come apart. So anyways, I will collect up some stuff and head back to the bench, and we'll start doing some restorations. All right, so we're back at the bench here. What we're gonna do is we need to split down this engine. Two reasons. I need to rebuild the crankshaft. We're gonna put a new connecting rod, bearing, and pin on that crankshaft. And the second reason is you can see all this JB Weld type product up in here. So this case, at one point the chain derailed and broke the protector, the case saver, and obviously shard into here, and someone has replaced this. So I did some digging in the catacombs at Recycle, and I was able to come up with a pretty good condition case. There's a little bit of scratching, but really for our purposes that's gonna clean up really well. I'll buff that out a little bit and we'll repaint everything before we put it back together. But I think that's gonna work out good. A little rusty inside. We'll do some blasting and clean up and stuff and put new bearings, and it's gonna work out really great. One more thing I wanna go over with you guys is make yourself one of these cheap little engine building boxes. It's not actually a box. It's more of just a rectangle. And they are so incredibly handy. This particular size seems to work out for almost every motor. I'll give you those dimensions. So this one is 10 inches by 13 inches. And it's really handy because when you're working on your engine, you want to be able to hold it in various angles and, you know, be able to work at tight bolts and stuff. So I'll just demonstrate here. You know, the engine can sit this way nice and solid. This old box is actually a little bit warped. I built this many years ago. But you can flop it on its side, and you can always find a spot where it jams in really good and holds the motor in position for you and helps you get the parts off without rolling it off the bench and everything. I'm sure anybody who's done a little bit of wrenching on motors knows how these things fumble around. So now we will get to the rebuilding. Okay, we're back. We've got our case splitter all set up on our engine, all the case bolts removed. This case splitter is the Motion Pro crankcase splitter, and it is model number 08-0605. It's really nice because it's a quick attach, and it comes with 6mm thread and 8mm thread on the other, so you can just flip them for different applications. So we're going to go ahead with that split. Okay, so every once in a while you open up a motor and you find the absolute strangest things you've ever seen. So it would appear that there's never been oil put in this transmission since someone was last in here. And if you notice, they've got this white lithium grease on everything, even on some of the gears. That's very strange. And the question I have is why they would have put it all back together when there's clearly a little bit of play on the rod. I don't know if you can see that on video, but I can definitely, yeah, you can feel that there. But anyways, the great news here is it looks like these transmission components are in really good condition. I mean, we'll have to get everything right apart and washed all up and stuff, but I'm very hopeful here. This is looking promising. So anyways, we're gonna we'll get that other side of the case off. We'll get the crankshaft removed out of the case, and then we'll split that down and get ready for the new components. I am waiting. The pin itself, this guy right here, is on back order at the moment, but it's supposed to be coming along fairly shortly. So pretty excited about getting the crank built, but I'll get all the components all cleaned up. I'll make sure the threads are really nice, and we'll get this all shined up and ready to go back together. Okay guys, so the extremely astute amongst you may have noticed when I first showed you this replacement engine case that there is this sneaky little devil right here, and that of course is your shift shaft that goes through the motor. And as you can see, this one has been ginsued off with some incredible manner of either highly trained martial arts skills or perhaps black magic. I don't know which. But anyways, being a student of the 1980s and 1990s karate films, there's only one way to remove this, and that is of course with a well-placed kung fu or karate punch, whichever you prefer. And what you have to do is line the knuckle up directly, and you can't just go ahead and punch it because it'll, you know, ruin the theatrics of your shot, and your cinematography will be out the window. So anyways, we will line up for that punch here now. Hi-ya! Whew. Not even a mark. That's what you get. I watched The Karate Kid at least 3 times. And no, I did not use WD-40, a punch, and a hammer to drive that out. Pure kung fu skills. All right, so lastly on our engine teardown here, this is the original case off of the engine, the one with the damage here that we're replacing. I'm putting new bearings in the other case, but I'm having a real problem getting this bearing right here. So this one is in fantastic condition. So I'm going to repurpose that bearing, but in order to get that out, you need a blind hole bearing puller to get that out. There is possibly some other homemade techniques you can use there, but the best is a blind bearing puller. So I just wanted to show you, this is the Motion Pro blind bearing removal kit. It is part number 08-0292, and it comes with various sizes and the little slide hammer attachment. So right now we're going to, this is the size we require. We're going to pop that out and do that task right now. So first thing you do, you back it off, install it in the hole. And you just tighten the 2 components together until the tooth gets a good grab underneath the bottom side of the rollers on that bearing. And I apologize, this task might be a little bit loud, so just see how it goes here. And just that easy, there is our bearing. Sometimes, of course, they can be truly rusted in there and a lot tougher to get out, but this one went really easy, and this is in really good condition. So now that we've got that done, it's just going to be a bunch of washing up the engine components and whatnot. So I'd also just like to take this opportunity to thank you very much for watching our little video series. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that, and we're looking forward to you joining us on our next video. Thank you.